booth. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Western New York Youth and Ag Bonanza. We are getting ready to get started here with our Meat Goat Show this afternoon. If I could have you please all rise for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs burst
Milk for Health presents the Western New York Youth in Ag Bonanza, live to you at home, where youth from the 8 counties of Western New York will compete in livestock judging and showmanship in various categories. Live from the Showplex on the Erie County Fairgrounds in Hamburg, New York, Milk for Health presents the Western New York Youth in Ag Bonanza.
You can look at me, or you can look at the camera.
Okay.
Yeah. And that gives you an idea what the shop looks like.
Yeah.
Where's your home? Oh, hey everybody, we're up. We're just talking. We're
Yeah.
just talking to Elon, my good friend. Elon, give us your last name. Horkler?
Yeah, it's Horkler.
All right. So we're just saying, where's your Hawaiian shirt? It's a Hawaiian day here at the show.
I know. I was gonna pack it this morning, then I was just in a hurry and decided I was just gonna wear this one today.
Well, you are my co-host for the next few hours here. What are we going to see here, Elon, here at the Western New York Youth and Ag Bonanza?
So we're gonna see some market goats. We're gonna see some breeding goats. We're also gonna see a variety of dairy goats today.
All right. And we've got the breeds right here. We can instruct our viewers
Yep.
what they're going to be like. You're watching on Ustream or at WBBZ.TV. We thank you for joining us. And some of these goats are coming right in. Now, this is, we start with the Pee-wee division, right?
Yep. So these are kids just starting out in showing, and it's a way to get them acclimated to being in the show ring and learning about showing their goats. It's overall just a good way for the kids to learn and get used to showing in the ring.
Now, Elon, you've shown a lot of goats, right, in different days?
Yes, sir. I've showed all across the country on a competitive level, so I know what it's like to be in a show ring and be around the judge, and overall just get used to being in the show ring.
Were you that young when you started?
Yeah, I started at a very young age. I first started showing sheep, and then over the years I got into showing the goats, and now I've been showing goats for years on years now.
So what are we looking at here? Is this a mixed breed or is this a certain kind of breed of goat, this one guy?
This could be either a purebred Boer goat, or it can be a mixed breed.
Okay. So this is the meat goat showmanship.
As
so
we start out our
from what I
goat
understand,
show
they're going to
here,
be watching the exhibitor,
really
right?
Nice place
Yeah,
to start
so
the young man
he's going to
here in
watch
our
how the
Pee-wee
exhibitor
division.
works around his goat, and
may have
the way
some
he gets him
stage
set
fright
up
out
and
here
everything.
as she gets
Overall,
out in
just
the
judge
ring,
how the
but
kid
a
is doing,
highly
not so much the
presented
goat.
The
He
young
gives a
man,
chance to
really
kids
knows his way
to,
around this
that might not
individual
have the
and really gets
money or the
this
supplies
goat
to
set
win
and
a
stuck, he
like a
keeps the
market
head
goat
up on
division, to
his
be able to
doe,
get out
and
there
he does a
and
nice
compete
job
with other
presenting
kids
her highly
merely
fitted
based
and
on
presented
themselves.
female.
Okay.
Let's give this young exhibitor a round of applause for being our winner here in the Pee-wee division. Congratulations.
Congratulations in our Pee Wee Showmanship division. First place will go to Caleb Jowdy of Gasport, New York. Now in the ring, we'll look to start our junior showmanship class. We'll be looking for Allie Earhart, Aubrey Henry, Quinn Pence, Easton Pence, and Lindsay Lippert. This will be the first call to ringside for intermediate showmen. First call to ringside, intermediate showmen.
Okay, so intermediate coming up now, Elon. And is this your first visit to Western New York?
No, I've come up here for shows before, showing on this fairgrounds. They have other shows here, like in the spring, for like jackpot shows where it's not a county fair. People can come from all over, so I've shown up here before.
All right. And where are you from exactly, Elon?
It's in New Orleans, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour north of Pittsburgh,
Okay.
right on the Ohio line.
So did you come up with some animals, or did you come up with some of the judges?
I actually came up with a judge. Him and I are good friends. We've been buddies for a long time. So I come up to watch him sort some goats and sheep today, and overall just get out and see some more livestock.
So we're coming up in age class a little bit. What's the age of these animals that we've got?
Oh, so these animals can be
Go ahead.
these animals can be either spring-born or like early December, January time. So these ones aren't quite a year old.
Yeah, because they look young. And why are we showing these particular animals at such a young age?
Well, when these goats, they're fresher handling, so when the judge feels them, they're more like hard. They're more market ready when they're a little bit like at this stage in their maturity. When they get older, they're not as fresh and not as good market value as they would be when they're a bit younger.
Do you come from a family of animal handlers and animal farmers?
Yeah, we actually breed about 90 head of like market ewes, like weather ewes to actually breed lambs, and I show goats. So I purchase them and show them like these kids are doing out here.
Troy's our judge, and the next time Troy speaks, we'll hear from him because he always does such a good job explaining what's going on. And he judged the Sheep and the Lamb show just a little earlier, and he's also from Pennsylvania, and he's really detail-oriented with when the animals come through and what he's looking for.
Yeah, he's a very experienced judge. He's judged many of shows before this. And he actually judged on a collegiate level at Penn State. So he has a lot of experience in judging animals. And it takes a long time to get your vocabulary and your terms to the point where you can talk fluently on animals.
Well, I'm a city guy, Elon, as you probably figured out. So I can't tell exactly some of the things that, even the most novice individual would look at. But he's now looking at some of these goats. And with that said, with what he's looking at, how's he interacting with the exhibitors?
So he's basically moving them around the ring in a way to show the kids and how they work with their animals. So these kids have spent time at home working these animals to make sure that they're show ring ready. And in order to prove that to the judge, he'll work them through in an order that it shows that their grasp and knowledge of showing, and overall the way they present their animal.
And these are animals that are coming in from the 8 counties here in Western New York. And of course, as you know, there haven't been any shows happening, across the country because of the COVID restrictions, but we're happy to have it here. Here comes the
judge.
judge.
In our junior division, and there's 5 kids that know their way around the goat and out here presenting themselves in the ring. But the young man here to my right is going to get the nod. I just like how he gets the front end pulled up out of this big weather goat he has. He really gets down and drives this one hard. He gets his leg in and braces this one really, really good. Really nice individual here to start. Congratulations, young man. The young lady that comes here in second for me, she's very intense. She knows her way around a goat and does a really good job. At times, I just try and like to see you grab the head and the neck of this one and pull it up instead of just using the control halter all the time. But you do a really good job of getting the feet set square. I'd just like to see you get down and brace this goat a little harder. The young lady that comes in third does a really, really good job of getting this one braced, getting this doe really highly presented. At times, I just lose her eye contact and her focus out here in the ring. Just a doe that's not giving her the right time of day here, just wants to give her some challenges, but a really nice individual here to land third. The young lady that comes fourth, really appreciate the way she gets this one braced up. At times, I just lose her out here in the ring. Like her to watch her feet placement at times, but a really, really good job. And the young lady that's going to round out this class, just gotten a big class here with a lot of competition. I'd just like to see her be more intense out here and see some more eye contact, watch her rear feet placement. Let's give all 5 of these exhibitors a round of applause out here in our goat showmanship in the junior division.
Congratulations in the junior division. Your champion junior showman will go to Easton Pence of Randolph, New York. Reserve champion will go to Quinn Pence. Third, Aubrey Henry. Fourth, Lindsay Lippert. And fifth, Allie Earhart. Now in the ring, we'll look to start our intermediate division. We'll be looking for Lucas Dursarkissian, Amelia Hint-Strube, Jenna Smazinski, Allison McNamara, Aiden Dobson, Alexander Dursarkissian, Aubrey Gerhardt, Morgan Griffin, Jesse Quillis, and Trevor Beats. This will be the first call for senior showman to ringside. First call, senior showman to ringside.
All right, so Elon, as these young exhibitors and these animals are coming in, we're going to take a commercial break, okay? All right, so we'll be right back with Elon and right back with you here from the Showplex in Hamburg, New York.
On behalf of all your Western New York dairy farmers, we assure you that our job has not changed. We are still caring for our animals as we do every day, and we are still producing a clean and healthy product that you can feel safe serving to your families. All the dairy products that reach your table are also on our own family table, never touched by human hands, and from the farm to the grocery store within 48 hours, 365 days a year, through calm or chaos. We promise.
Hello, I'm Ross Salvatore, wishing all the youth competing in the Egg Bonanza good luck. I'm sorry I can't be with you in Hamburg. Remember, hard work and good showmanship pays off. I hope to see you and your families soon at Russell's Steaks, Chops, and more.
All right, we are back at the Showplex in Hamburg, New York for the West New York Youth and Ag Bonanza. It's the Meat Goat Showmanship Show, and Elon Horkler is with us. And Elon's joining us, and we were just talking about the exhibitors right there, and the judge is connecting with them and talking with them, and he's looking at the animals too. But the showmanship is really more about the exhibitor than it is about the animal, right?
Yeah, that would be correct.
And with that, he has talked a little bit to some of the exhibitors. What does a judge say when a young person brings their animal up for show?
So the judge can ask a variety of questions about the animal if he chooses, or he can just simply ask how their day is going, if they're having fun. It can go anywhere from simple talk to in-depth questions about the animal.
Now, we were just saying during the break, you're 16, so you're a fairly young guy, but you've been showing since you were their age, maybe even younger. Yep. And the exhibitors here are 21 and younger. So
yes.
That's the showmanship. Okay.
Yep.
And a lot of different sizes of animals and ages and mixed breeds. You were saying a little bit.
Yeah. So these goats can range anywhere from full-blood Boer goats to percentage goats, where it's only a percent Boer and percent a different breed, or it can range from anywhere from like mixed breeds where it's dairy goats, or they can basically be crossbred, which is they're a mix of all breeds. And as you see out here, kids are handling their animals in a different way. So it can range from like the young man with the red doe, showing it like a breeding goat, which would be the correct way to present a doe like that. So there's different techniques. So they can be showing them like a breed goat, or they can be showing them like a market goat.
Okay.
And it ranges in style and technique.
But the actual animal not as important as how the exhibitor is handling the animal itself.
Yeah, so showmanship is based purely on the kid. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what your animal looks like in showmanship, because it's purely based on the kid and the way he's handling his goat. And eye contact and the technique they're using plays a large role in showmanship.
Why is the eye contact so important between the exhibitor and the judge?
So it's kind of like anything in life. Eye contact shows a strong personality and confidence in yourself. So when the exhibitor is focused on the judge and keeping in touch with the judge, eye contact just shows that you're focused and that you're taking it seriously.
Okay. Well, we're happy to have such a vetted judge here to understand so many of these things with these animals, and with the exhibitors, because they've spent a long time to prepare to come to this point.
Yeah, for sure. You can tell these kids have spent hours on hours at home working with these animals to get them to the point where they're as broke as these kids have them. It takes time. It takes dedication. You just can't come out here on show day and just go for it, because it takes time at home to prepare and get your animal ready for a show.
Have you met some of the exhibitors?
Yes, I've been interacting with some of the kids on the break in between lamb and goats. I was interacting with some of the exhibitors, just talking about their animals and just seeing how they're doing today.
How do you think they're doing? As a perspective from you as a young person, how do you think they're doing?
Oh, for sure. The atmosphere made here by Kirby and the show staff it's been amazing. The way they've put on the Hawaiian theme just made it fun for these kids.
We had to cancel the fair this year, and that was a hard decision. And we knew it affected so many people. And there were a lot of people that came to the plate for us this year that need to be thanked. First person is standing over on the ringside. Give a wave. This is Danny. He is a very good friend of the fair. And when we had to cancel, he was the one that walked us through the plan with the health department and said, I think you can do this. And I think it's important that you do this. And he gets it. So please, a round of applause for Dan. He was very patient. So thank you, Dan. The next group of people, anybody who is a staff member or a volunteer, please come in the ring. Come on. There's a lot. There's a few more out there that are not here today, and Kim is off in the back. Guys, these are the ones that put this together. It's not me. I come up with the ideas and toss it to them. These guys make it happen. If you appreciate being here this weekend and having this ability, give them a round of applause. Thank you guys very, very much. And then lastly, obviously, we all know that events don't happen without sponsors and without partners. WBBZ and their crew have done an outstanding job with the live feed. John, Chris, we really appreciate your help. And to the crew in the back. Thank you, everybody. Just wanted to give those shout outs.
How about that, Elon? You get the shout out from the CEO, right from the top.
Yeah, for sure. I know it takes a lot to put on an event like this, and I know the kids truly appreciate it, because these kids, they might not play sports. This might be their sport. As kids are committed to travel baseball and travel sports, these kids are committed to working with their animals and putting the time in to just go out and do what they love.
Yeah, that's a good point, because even though in looking at some of the contestants when they sign up, the exhibitors, they talk about some different things that they do, and sports is a part of it, but mostly it's showing their animals, and for long lengths of time, even though they're young. And that's, you're right, it's what they do. So now the judge has brought a few of the goats and the exhibitors to one side, and he's checking these three out. So what's he looking for, do you think, now?
So on these three kids over here, he's basically trying to sort through, like, who's doing the best job, honestly. He's looking for who has the most control over their animal, who's presenting them the best. And you can see that we have three different styles of showmanship here. We have the young man with the red doe on the end here showing down, showing his breeding doe here. And then we have the young lady in the middle showing her market wether that will be shown later in the market show. And you can see there's just different techniques on all three of these young people. They're just doing a great job out here. And it's overall, he's just looking for the one who's handling their animal the best and getting the best look out of them.
Yep. Here he is.
So we get out here in our intermediate division, and taking nothing away from the kids on the backside of the ring, you do a tremendous job. I haven't placed the trio here in the center of the ring, but these are the three I like the best. And you see there's different styles out here. We've got some breeding goat kids. We've got some weather kids. I appreciate both. I think these kids are next level in the way they want to present themselves in their particular path and the type of goats they like to put their priorities in. With that being said, I think there's one individual out here that's just next level in intensity and eye contact, and one that just has so much ring presence and poise. Young lady in the center of the ring is going to be our champion intermediate showman. If looks could kill, this young lady hit the ring and she said, I'm going to be your champion and you better find me. I like that about her. That's my type of showman. We've got a really close decision here between second and third. The young men out here in the center of the ring both got big old ABGA style breeding goats, and they do a tremendous job of getting these big does set and highly presented. They make them look very elegant, very feminine, very pretty, and they really just get them highly presented. They do a great job with their showmanship. I prefer the young man here to my left to be second over the young man here to my right to be third. A really good top trio here. I just don't prefer the young man getting down and crouching as much as the other two. Just my preference. That's all showmanship showmanship's about, but you guys do a really great job. I think another judge, another guy with different priorities may jumble you three up, but you guys are next level. You guys did the best job. Congratulations. The kids on the other side of the ring, just watch your feet placement. Some goats, I think there was a young lady down there in 6th. She's really, really good showman, but the goat was just giving her a hard time out here today, and I think she knew it. But let's give them all a round of applause. Just a really great group of kids out here. They all stayed focused and drove their goats really hard. Congratulations.
Congratulations in our intermediate division. Your champion intermediate showman will go to Amelia Hint-Strube of Springville, New York. Reserve champion Lucas Der Sarkissian. 3rd, Alexander Der Sarkissian. 4th, Trevor Beats. 5th, Jesse Quillis. 6th, Allison McNamara. 7th, Aubrey Gerhart. 8th, Aiden Dobson. 9th, Morgan Griffin. And 10th, Jenna Smizinski. Now in the ring, we will look for our senior division. We'll be looking for Brooke Gerhart, Sarah Konheiser, and Jessica Engel.
All right, so congratulations to Amelia there, huh, Elon?
Oh, yeah, they were just out there doing their best, doing a great job out here, having fun today.
Yeah, all right, so Elon's here. We're going to take a break. We're going to meet some of the other exhibitors and find out more and get to know Elon when we get back here at the Showplex for the Western New York Youth and Ag Bonanza.
Milk and cheese and yogurt make me sing every day, 'cause milk is amazing. Drink milk to grow up with strong bones. 3 times a day, vitamin D and calcium. So drink it with chocolate, put it on your pizza. How about berries? It's always a treat. Milk is amazing.
2 on Your Side invites you to the Hamburg Fairgrounds for Blast Out Hunger, a food drive and fireworks drive-in. Join the Erie County Agricultural Society to help support Feed More Western New York and our neighbors in need. Just bring a bag of non-perishable food and we'll collect it at the gate. Enjoy an evening of fireworks with your family from the comfort of your vehicle. Saturday, August 15th. Gates open at 8. Skylighter fireworks at 9:30. See you there. We'll have a blast.
All right, the Youth and Ag Bonanza continues, and Elon Horkler is our co-host for the GOAT Show. And we talked a little bit about placement of the legs. We see that quite often, and the judge mentioned that in his last time that he appeared. Why is that important, Elon?
So just like people, the animals have their own unique way of standing, but in order to present them in the best way possible, you want to get like a square set on the feet. It really just makes the animal look the best it can, and that's a very big part of showing, is getting the feet set right and really maximizing the animal's full potential.
How difficult is that to do, though, if the animal doesn't want to cooperate?
Oh yeah, just like people, animals have their days too. They can fight you a little bit, and when they're fighting you, it's hard to get the feet set correctly.
Well, here comes Troy.
Here in this division, and one that logically sorts itself. We have a young lady here to my right that's got the weather style goat out here, and she gets the most out of him. She gets him driven. She's really fluid in her movement. She gets this goat propped up. She gets the feet set square. I like how she gets down and gets this one braced. The young lady that's going to come second does a great job of getting this doe presented and moving her about the ring here. At times, you're just probably not as quick and as much eye contact as our class winner, but you do a great job. The young lady that's going to round out this division with the dairy style market goat here does a really great job of getting this one's feet set square. Just at times I'd like to see you get down and brace this goat and get his back feet underneath of him some more, but you do a great job. Let's give these 3 a round of applause. Congratulations.
Congratulations in our senior division. Your champion senior showman will go to Jessica Engel of Springville, New York. Reserve champion Brooke Gerhart, and 3rd will be Sarah Konheiser. Now in the ring, we'll invite back our champion reserves to compete for your top overall showman and reserve champion showman. Out of the junior division, your champion junior showman was Mr. Easton Pence of Randolph, New York, and reserve champion was Quinn Pence, also of Randolph, New York. Out of the intermediate division, your champion intermediate showman was Miss Amelia Hinchstrube of Springville, New York, and reserved to Lucas Dursarkissian of Gasport, New York. And then coming out of your senior division, your champion senior showman was Miss Jessica Angle of Springville, New York, and reserved to Brooke Gerhart of East Aurora, New York. For those of you sitting ringside, if you could join me in congratulating all of our showmen here at the West New York Youth and Ag Bonanza Goat Show.
So Jessica, we've met before, and she's been involved in some of the other shows. And so it's not uncommon to meet and see some of these exhibitors with their various breeds and their various species. And I'm sure that that's something, Elon, you've experienced in your showing days, you know, that you show a goat, you show a sheep, because you've shown several animals as well, right?
Yes, I've showed multiple species of animals. I've showed cattle in the past. I've showed pigs in the past. So I've kind of dipped into all species of showing. Once you get into it, you kind of like seep into the other breeds and want to try something different.
What animal is more difficult to show than another?
I mean, they're all have their different like struggles that come with them. Like cattle, if they're not as broke, they're big and they're powerful and they can boss you around. But like with the goats, they can get a pretty bad attitude with them.
I noticed, you know, in one of the other showings, you know, an animal just kind of gets up on its hind legs, and like you were saying, sometimes they have a bad day or an attitude. Could be a number of things.
Yeah, for sure. Like when you're working them at home, nothing can really simulate what a show ring atmosphere is like. So you try your best to get them acclimated to a show ring setting, but once you get there on show day, it's a different animal.
And we have very few limited spectators here because everybody is following all those COVID restrictions that Jessica Underberg talked about. But in some shows, you'd have literally thousands of people, right, watching.
Oh, yeah. So there's multiple types of shows. There's just jackpot shows, which are like almost like hobby shows where people from all over the country can come to. And then there's national level shows, which are your very competitive, very high-quality shows where it's everyone from across the country comes to one spot to see who has the best animals. So there's different levels, and at different shows come different amounts of spectators. There can be hundreds of thousands of people there. And then you can have small groups. It basically depends on the day and if people want to come out and see some livestock that day.
It is nice to see the animals kind of walk around. And like you said, in the show and the showmanship, if the animal has a good stride and has a good posture, they do make for a nice presentation.
Yeah, having an animal with a good posture definitely helps. It's not so much about the animal when it comes to showmanship, but it doesn't hurt to have an animal that looks pretty on the move and looks pretty when he's standing there. So that definitely helps.
And we should mention that in the showmanship, you know, these are animals that the exhibitor brings to us based on the animals that they have in their situation at their barn. They may have lots of different animals, but they select this one for the show, and they work with them specifically, right?
Yeah, so these young exhibitors, they might go out and purchase their animal, or they may breed it at their house, and they can select from the ones they breed, or they can go out and purchase an animal. So basically, they'll just pick an animal they feel like is the best quality they can get, and they'll work with it until it comes show day, and then they'll bring it out here and run it against everyone else's.
The judge is looking, taking a look. They're making that eye contact. They really are beautiful animals, and we saw with the sheep too. Even though they're not as large as dairy cattle and cows, they can still be, you know, something to be reckoned with because of their size.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Particularly at the peewee level.
Yeah, for sure. It all depends. The animals are very strong, and they can, once you get used to them and you almost make like a bond with them. You have a personal bond with your animal, and when it comes down to that level, they're very docile animals, and you can truly see that the kids love their animals. It's when you spend so much time working them, you truly create a bond with your animal that sometimes is hard to break.
Yep, particularly when sometimes the animals have to move on to be sold at auction.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that?
I mean, it's a hard thing to deal with, especially when you're when you're young, you're just starting to show, and you get your first animal, and you're super attached to it.
Let's
it's
give
just
our
hard
goat
to
exhibitors
part
here a round
ways
of
with them.
applause as we get these 6 out here in competing for grand champion showman. I think there's 2 or 3 that are just really, really good, and ones that are just my kind, and ones that are super intense. They've got a lot of eye contact. They did their homework before they entered the ring here and just got their goats stuck and working really well with them. They're highly presented. They just have that ring presence and poise. They do a phenomenal job of getting these goats stuck. I wish I could pick more than 2. We haven't had a lot of numbers, but we've got really, really good quality of kids out here to evaluate. I'm going to go find you the 2 I like. I think the 2 that are really, really good in their showmanship abilities, and ones I'd like to give goats to and let them stick them, just do a phenomenal job. I hope you'll receive them with a round of applause. I'm going to go find you the 2 showmen here at the Bonanza. Congratulations.
Let's see, there it is.
Congratulations to your champion showman, Miss Amelia Hinstrube. Reserve champion in Amelia's division was Lucas Sarkisian. Reserve champion overall showman will go to Easton Pence of Randolph, New York. Congratulations to all of those exhibitors. Once again, if we could put our hands together for all of the showmen at the Western New York Youth and Ag Bonanza Goat Show, and we will get started with our breeding doe show. We'll be looking for Class 1, Alexander Sarkisian. Class 2 and 3, breeding does, make your way to ringside.
All right, so we've had a winner. We have somebody selected, and we're going to go to break now because we're going to transition now to a whole different class, a whole different kind of show. Elon Horkler is here with us, right?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
All right, so he's our special guest, and we'll be back with him, find out more about these beautiful animals from the Hamburg Fairgrounds after this. And by the way, before we go to break, want to give a little shout out, okay? Because they're watching you, Elon, all across the globe. Did you know that on Ustream?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to say hi to Ava and to Madison and to Andrew, and they're in Elma, New York. So wherever you are, whether it's Western New York or across the country, we thank you for watching online. We'll be right back.
Milk times 3 is good for me. 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 Strong bones. Healthy bodies. Tastes great.
Milk with chocolate, yogurt, cheese.
Make me healthy, stronger, please.
Milk times 3 is good for me. Milk times 3 is good for me. Milk times 3 is good for me.
Want the best for your pets? Decide on Clyde's. Most people think their best deal is with online retailers, but I'm always getting the best price at Clyde's Feed and Animal Center. Shop ClydesFeed.com for convenient 1 to 3 day shipping to your doorstep. They've got a great selection of food for every pet, from dogs and cats to horses and chickens, wild birds, and everything in between. You'll find more than food. Shop toys, treats, flea and tick treatment, grooming supplies, vitamins, supplements, and more at Clyde's Feed and ClydesFeed.com.
We're back here with Elon Horkler. Elon says this is only his second time on TV. Let's hear from Kirby.
This will be a single entry from Alexander Sarkisian, Class 2, Amelia and Caleb. Please make your way to ringside.
As these exhibitors bring in their animals.
All right, so in this division, we're going to see like the breeding does for the market goat division. So these are does that would be bred to produce market wethers that would be showed, or to produce seed stock, which would be used for like the next generation of breeding. So he's looking for a maternal, like something that can produce young.
Yes, an animal that would be able to carry babies basically and move forward to continue to deliver more goats into the world.
Yeah, and you could see as he feels the udder on that one, he's checking the mammary system to see if this doe can produce milk and overall just care for its young.
Right. Because there are dairy goats as well. Oh, here comes the judge.
just one 5-year-old doe out here, and one that's kidded 3 times. This female stood the test of time. She's just really good in her build and her design and her makeup. This one's super level down her top, and one that's just really cool and unique in her rib shape and the silhouette she paints from the side. I question the longevity of her mammary system. She's got a fish tit there on the right side, and she's got some congestion and some hard quarter there on the right side, but a really nice female here to evaluate. Let's give the young man a round of applause.
Still conferring.
Congratulations. In Class 1 of our breeding doe show, first place will go to Alexander Der Sarkissian of Gasport, New York. Now in the ring will be Class 2. We'll be looking for Amelia Hintstrub and Caleb Jowdy. Class 3, this is your call to ringside.
So he mentioned with Alex the animal kidded 3 times. That must mean that it had three baby goats.
It means it's had a pregnancy and delivered young 3 times. It doesn't quite apply to the number. It could have had twins. It could have had triplets, like 3 times.
Right.
So it just applies to how many times it's had young.
And we noticed in the sheep category, sometimes twins are born to sheep. Is that the same thing with goats?
Yeah. So with sheep, it's more often that you have singles and twins rather than have triplets. With goats, it can range from twins to triplets, and triplets are more often in the goats.
So 3 at once. And these goats that are being shown here, we have another young person back. So the age of the exhibitor is not as important as the actual kind of goat that we're looking at, or how does this fly?
In this, it's a type class, which is based on the animal itself, not so much the way the exhibitor is presenting the animal. So this is from all age groups, from 21 to peewee starting. Like any of them can show. It's basically based on how old the animal is and the type of animal it is, not based on the kid.
Got it. So that one animal looks like it has, like it's just a little wider in the stomach area than the other animal. Is that common?
Yeah, she might just be a little bit more full today, meaning she might have ate a little too much this morning. She might have a little bloat, so her stomach might just be a little, not upset, but full of air, full of like hay and grain. It was fed this morning.
What's the average diet for a goat, for a meat goat?
So in these does can be fed probably anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds of grain a day, and they also, for these does, it's not as important for them to have like a honed in diet. These are mature does, so they'll eat basically free range hay or free range grass. These does were probably in a pen getting ready for show, but on an average scale, these does probably when they get home from the show will go out on pasture where they'll be grazed, and these does are probably also getting ready to be bred for their next set of kids they'll have.
Sure. What's the cycle in which a goat can have a kid? Is there a limited life, like, in human life, you reach a certain age, you can't have a baby anymore? Is that the same with a goat? As they reach a certain point and then they are not able to be bred anymore?
Yeah, it applies to animals as well. Oh, we have the judge getting ready to talk here, these 2 mature does.
We get out here in our second class of mature does, and the young man's female is going to get the nod from me, and one that's putting up her guard here and standing up the mane down her top line. But this female is really good and functional in her build and her kind. She's much better in her mammary system. She's stouter and more pulled apart in her rib shape. She's more robust when we carry her back into her flank, and wider from stifle through her hip there. I really like the breed character, and the horn set on this one. Congratulations on the young man for winning this class. The young lady that comes second, a big broody doe, one that's just getting really deep and opened up in her chest. She's really coarse about her shoulder. I'd like to stouten this one up in her hip and change her teat structure, but a really nice pair here to evaluate. Let's give them a round of applause.
Who they are from Kirby Dygert.
Congratulations in Class 2. First place will go to Caleb Jowdy of Gasport, New York, and second to Amelia Hinstrube of Springville, New York. Now in the ring will be Class 3 of our breeding doe show. We'll be looking for Lucas Dursarkissian, Alexander Dursarkissian, and Brooke Gerhardt. Class 4 breeding does make your way to ringside.
All right, so look who's joined us, everybody. One of the top officials in Erie County, Dan Neverth Jr. Dan, say hi to Elon Horkler.
Hello, Elon. How are you?
Nice
to meet you.
Elon is joining us as a co-host. Now, these
I'm
animals.
sorry, who are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm Regis Philbin. Yeah, no, but hey, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody in your division, because as emergency services coordinator, everybody here is taking all those precautions, Dan.
Yeah, they're doing a terrific job. We had the opportunity to assist them with nudging along the plan, working on things that needed to be taken care of, the masks, the temperature checks, social distancing, and they've done a phenomenal job to begin with here. So we just made a few suggestions here and there, and it gets back to the root of really what the fair is and what the agricultural. So even though they could not have the 2020 Erie County Fair, this is what it's about. It's about, it's about the animals. It's about the agricultural side of things. And thanks to your efforts, showing probably the public a side that maybe they would look at, but then go to the rides or the cotton candy or other stuff. We truly believe that this is what it's all about. And in a twisted way, a silver lining of this whole COVID epidemic is the fact that, we have a chance to really reflect on what things, what life is really about. And this is it, seeing the look on the kids' faces, seeing the judging of the animals and getting out and showing the world, thanks to you, what they've been working on for years and months. And so it's the least of what we could do just to try and get things back to normal.
Well, you're very kind. It's certainly a team effort on the WBBZ TV side for the streaming, and Dan, of course, has been on a number of shows with us on the TV station with everything going on, and son of our famous radio personality, Dan Neverth. And did you ever have animals growing up, Dan?
3 brothers. I think you know most of them.
Yeah.
But actually, we had animals. We had cats. We were not living on a farm, but still, there's just something romantic about that the raising of your own and taking care of it. And I think, to a certain extent, a lot of us are trying to get back to that whole natural thing.
Our next group of mature does, and the red female here just does so quite handily. I love the rib shape on this one. She's got the most top. She's really level in her design. You study her on the ground, and that's where I like her the most. She's super functional in the way she gets out and goes. She's wider from end to end. Maybe she's not the most extended. Maybe she's not the longest from end to end, but she is the stoutest female. She's more my kind, one that's just going to go lay down and be a really nice broody female for the young man. The young man that comes second, one that's really attractive from the side. For me, she gives it up when I get behind her. She's really plain about her rib shape. She's narrower at the ground. She's tighter in her pin set. For me, this one gets straighter and longer in her blade. I'd like to clean her up in her chest floor there, put her neck up on top of her shoulder. But a nice pair here to evaluate. I like these two quite a bit. The young lady's goat here that comes third, the hornless doe here. For me, I'd just like to change the teat structure on this one. This one's really coarse and bold in the way she's built. I'd like to change the shoulder on this one and put her head up on top of her blade and level her up in her design. Let's give these 3 a round of applause, a nice group of mature does.
All right, and Kirby Dygert will tell us who they are.
Congratulations in Class 3 of our breeding doe show. First place will go to Lucas Dursarkissian, second Alexander Dursarkissian, and third to Brooke Gerhardt. Now in the ring will be Class 4. We'll be looking for Amelia Hinstrube and Lucas Dursarkissian. Class 5, this is your call to ringside.
All right, so Dan, I think the judge just said that the goat was a doe, was wide and big. I have never gotten away with telling a young lady that they're wide and big. I don't know.
No, I don't think out on the street any of us could get away repeating that language.
No.
But I was certainly entertained by it.
Yeah, that's great, and that's what they look for. And Elon, you were right. They're looking for the mammaries because of the way the goat will be milk producing.
Yeah, they're looking for the memory system on how it can take care of its young and the way the young will nurse off its mom. If the memory system is not correct on it, it can affect the way the young nurse on it and overall affect the total health of the young it's raising.
Yeah, so the judge looked for that. Well, we're going to take a quick break here. We're at the Hamburg Fairgrounds at the Showplex with Dan Neverett Jr. and Elon Horkler, and we're here at the Goat Show. We'll be back and find out what the judge has to say about these exhibitors and these animals when we come right back.
Imagine a world without milk. It would be a tragic, tasteless existence. After all, with no cheese, how would anyone know when to smile? With no milk, why would anyone want to? But there is hope. Your Western New York dairy farmers are committed to providing the most wholesome, delicious milk products possible, returning smiles to tables and order in the universe.
So, everyone's okay with a cow in the house?
Milk for Health. The guys with the cows.
Saturday night is movie night on WBBZ TV. The fun starts at 6 p.m. with The Three Stooges. Then at 8, Svengoolie screens the classics.
Kerwin.
And later at midnight, Buffalo Beatniks, Zelda, Bird, and Theo serve up hot coffee and cool movies on Offbeat Cinema.
Keep watching the skies. Keep watching.
And keep watching WBBZ TV, your hometown MeTV station. Channel 67.1 on air and DirecTV, Channel 5 on cable, Fios, and Dish. All right, we're back from the Showplex in Hamburg. Before the judge tells us about these animals, Elon, you had something nice to say to Dan Neverett, the Emergency Services Coordinator.
Yeah, I just want to thank him for all the time he's put in, because I know as a exhibitor myself, I know how much these kids appreciate the effort he's poured into getting this show put on for them, because I know it means a lot to them. You can see it on their faces. This is their thing, and it just means a lot for him to put in the time to work towards getting a show for these kids.
I appreciate those kind thoughts. A lot of
very
people put a lot of
interesting
extra work
here
into
to
this.
sort through in
Jessica
our,
and everybody
our
at the
female
fair,
division,
WBBZ,
and the one that's a lot more
and our folks at the health department that came up with most of these guidelines and whatnot. So thanks to everybody. And you're right, it's the look on the face that makes all the difference in the world. So thank you.
I don't know if it's the young lady's halter she's using or what's going on here, but this one, when you set this doe in motion, she really wants to fall apart. She wants to drop in her shoulder. She wants to break from her top of her shoulder back into her rack. She really wants to get out and take a really funky stride on those rear two. I'd really like to clean her up in her chest floor and her blade there to move up any higher. Just one that's getting a lot bolder and coarser in her makeup, but a nice pair here. Congratulations.
All right, we'll find out who these exhibitors are.
Congratulations in Class 4. First place will go to Lucas Sarkissian, and second to Amelia Hinstrube. Now in the ring will be Class 5, Allie Earhart, Brooke Gerhart, and 2 entries from Brooke Gerhart. Class 6, breeding does make your way to ringside.
All right. So Elon, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you want to do when you get a little older?
So I'm pretty, like, livestock is what I do, and I also play football, but livestock's my true passion. So I'm looking to move on and become a vet, but specialize in reproduction and embryology. So I'll be able to breed sheep and goats and cattle so that they can produce young. So in sheep and goats, it's actually a surgical procedure to artificially inseminate them to get them pregnant. So you can use bucks that are across the nation instead of having to actually have them live cover them, like live breed them. You can AI them, which is you bring in semen from a buck and you breed it to the does you have. So you have to have a vet license and everything to do that, and you actually have to put them under anesthesia in order to do that. So that's what interests me, and I know being a sheep breeder myself, having that procedure done, it'd be nice to be able to get further in depth with that and help other breeders.
That's taking it to a whole new level, you know, with science and technology. Well, good luck to you. You're going to stay with us now for this full show as we see the animals and we get to know you and we get to know what we're doing here with these exhibitors. Some of the names that we've heard, Lucas and Amelia have been with us all day, and earlier we had the sheep show, and now we have the goats. We'll be here tomorrow as well, live on the Ustream. So now he's going to, what looks like, line the animals up with the exhibitor. Well, one's, again, what we talked about, doesn't seem to want to cooperate too much.
Yep. Sometimes they get a little bit of attitude to them, so she's probably just not having a good day today.
Goats are pretty playful, aren't they? A friend of mine has some goats. It seems like they're pretty playful.
Oh yeah, showing them is a blast. They have their own personality, and they're very playful, and they like to be played with and have fun.
How many goats have you had? Well, here comes the judge. Oh no, not yet. How many goats have you had in your life, in your showing?
Over the years, I've had multiple sets of animals.
A very interesting trio here as well, and the red doe here the young lady has just the most balanced, the smoothest in her build and her makeup. This one's better in the way she's constructed out of her shoulder. I like how shallow she is in her chest floor. Really good set of feet and legs. It's her skeletal build and her structure and the way she gets out and sets her feet and legs when we set her in motion is what gets her to win this class, but a really nice female here to start the sort. The young lady here that comes second, I like the handle of this goat the best. This one's big top. She's got a lot of mass to her. She's really opened up in her rib. For me, when we get this one out and going, she really just doesn't want to plan her rear too with enough authority for me. She wants to get out and get really weak in her pasterns and set on the outside of her toes. I really like to change the way this one's laid into her shoulder. She wants to get longer in her blade, deeper in her chest floor. She wants to come out in her breastplate there, but a really nice doe here to come second. The young lady's doe that comes third, really pretty, really angular, really nice from the side. This one's just losing a lot of maturity and growth today. I need to pull this one apart in her rib shape, give her some more stifle width and hip structure width to move up any higher. Let's give these three a round of applause.
All right, and Kirby will tell us who they are. Kirby and the judge.
Congratulations in Class 5. First place will go to Brooke Gerhart of East Aurora, New York. Second, also to Brooke Gerhart. And third, to Allie Earhart. Now in the ring will be Class 6 in our breeding doe show. Entries from Caleb Jowdy and Aubrey Henry. Class 7, please make your way to ringside. This will be the first call for all firsts and seconds back to ringside to compete for champion and reserve champion breeding doe.
So champion and reserve champion are coming up. I think we have 6 or 7, we almost had 8 classes in the last show. Is that common, Elon, that we have this many?
Oh yeah, so this is a very large county fair compared to smaller county fairs that can happen. And it's just a really nice deal that they've been able to bring so many counties together to put on a show for these kids. And eight classes of a breeding doe show that's a nice size show.
That's a good size show, yeah. We talked about the diet of the goat, and we talked also about meat goats. There's a real desire in the world for the lean meat that the goat produces. And what does it taste like? I've never had goat meat.
I mean, to be honest, I've never tried it myself.
Really?
I mean, I'm more of a livestock person. I like to deal with them as showing and not so much
on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, now this goat decided doesn't want anything to do with the show, but he was stopped at the entrance. Well, let's see if he'll come back with his handler. Okay, looks like he's back at it. She's back at it. Those horns I would imagine, can be pretty tough if you get on the wrong side of one.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Has that ever happened to you, Elon?
Yeah, I've showed a couple horned does in my life, and they're for sure not very fun when you get poked by them, that's for sure. I wouldn't say they're really sharp, but they're pointy, that's for sure.
I don't think I'd want to test that.
Nah, it's not they're fun to show, and for the does, it's good for them to have them when they're a breeding animal.
Why is that? Why do you think?
I mean, so when they're interacting with each other, they can get into a little bit of like a scuffle with each other. It's just nice to have the horns for almost like protection, and that's the natural thing for goats to have is horns. they can dehorn them for like show animals, but it's a natural thing, and it's almost like have a natural look to them instead of dehorning them and taking their horns away.
So if you're looking to fill your freezers for the winter and looking to support some of our youth, be sure to jump on to bontragerauctions.com. As
Kirby mentioned a website, bontragerauctions.com. Here comes the judge.
We get out here in this next division of does, and the red doe here that's going to win the class. She's got a lot of horsepower, but luckily the little cowboy here's got some new tires on and brakes to stop her here, but this one's just really opened up and bold. She's just really a brood female out here in this class. She's really pulled apart. She's got a lot of top shape. She's really square from end to end. A really nice representation of a boar goat breeding female. Probably just need to shorten up the choker chain on this one. She's going to take him for a ride again, but that's a nice female here to start our sort. The young lady that comes second with the painted up doe, more of a weather style female, one that for me in the weather division here, and one that's just not broody and maternal enough in the way she looks to be more of a breeding piece, but one that still doesn't have enough shape for the weather deal, but a really nice goat here that paints a nice silhouette from the side. I just like to put some more rib shape in this one and pull her apart from end to end to move up any higher. Just gets out horsed here in this class. Let's give these two a round of applause.
Congratulations in Class 6. First place will go to Caleb Jowdy, and second to Aubrey Henry. Now in the ring will be our final class of breeding does, 3 entries from Caleb Jowdy. After this class, we'll look for all first and seconds back to compete for your champion and reserve champion breeding does.
Did you see how Aubrey was right there? Elon, the young lady that was right here, she was really hanging on tight to make sure that animal was all set.
Oh yeah, she was doing a good job of holding on to them and making sure she didn't get away.
Yeah. All right, well, we're here at the Showplex at the Fairgrounds in Hamburg, New York, and we're going to meet some of these next exhibitors and find out what the judge has to say about them after we take this short break from the sponsors who are bringing this to you on Ustream across the globe on the World Wide Web. Thank you all. We'll be back from Hamburg right after this.
On behalf of all your Western New York dairy farmers, we assure you that our job has not changed. We are still caring for our animals as we do every day, and we are still producing a clean and healthy product that you can feel safe serving to your families. All the dairy products that reach your table are also on our own family table, never touched by human hands, and from the farm to the grocery store within 48 hours, 365 days a year, through calm or chaos. We promise.
Here we are back at the Hamburg Showplex inside the fairgrounds, and Elon, we're just asking, what's more difficult to deal with, a female goat or a male goat?
I mean, it depends. Honestly, when you spend so much time as these young individuals do with their animals, they can all get pretty docile and tame to the point where they all act fairly the same. There's not a great difference. I mean, when the bucks, the non-castrated males, get older, they can get a little bit meaner just by the testosterone and everything they have. So they can get a little bit more aggressive when they're older, or when they're in with a group of breeding does that they're breeding, they can get territorial over their does. But when you get them castrated, when they turn into wethers, or when you have does, they're all pretty docile and they can be friendly. They're almost like little puppy dogs at times.
Really? No, that's interesting. And then we just went through kind of the dynamic there, the doe being the female, the buck being the male, and the wether is the castrated male. And they all have that function, to go through and Now the judge is going to take another look. We'll see what he has to say about these 3 animals and the exhibitors.
We hit out here in this division and 3 very similar does and ones that are cut from the same mold, ones that are just really intriguing to me in the way they're constructed. They're feminine and very maternal in their kind, and ones that just have so much rib shape. But for me, the one that's the most balanced, the one that's the most unique, the one that just pieces together the nicest for me and just has that presence and that cocky attitude to her is this red doe here to my right. I like this one quite a bit. Super attractive, ultra functional, really sound female here to go ahead and start this sort. Gets pretty close here for me between second and third. I like the top shape better on the second place goat. She's got a lot of top and turn to her rack, and she's really wide and square in her hip. For me, I'd just like to change the shoulder on this one and trim her up some more to move up any higher. And the young man that's going to round out this class, a goat that really fits a similar type and kind, just gets plainer in her overall shape and rib and dimension from end to end. But let's give this trio here a round of applause, a nice group of goats.
Congratulations in Class 7. First place will go to Caleb Jowdy of Gasport, New York. We will now be bringing in all first and seconds back to compete for your champion and reserve champion breeding does.
So now, Elon, everybody that we've seen pretty much coming back, now we're going to look for the champion in the reserve. So a lot of the animals that we've already seen come through, those that have been acknowledged are now going to come back, and let's, with Kirby, we'll get a chance to meet them and hear their names as they come through and into the exhibition ring. I know sometimes it's a little challenging to get all the animals together and the exhibitors once they go back and forth to the stalls.
Oh, Troy, why don't
Here they
you give,
come.
Courtney your credit card so she can make a bidder number?
We should mention too, Elon, that we talked about the animals. A mature doe can weigh between 190 up to 230 pounds, and a mature buck between 200 and 340 pounds. That seems rather large.
Oh yeah, when they get older and mature, they can gain a lot of mass to their skeleton and get a lot bigger than a small kid you would see showing out there as in the market class.
BontragerAuctions.com is where you can go. You can find out more about some of the animals.
Class 1 first place was Alexander Dursarkissian of Gasport, New York. Class 2 Class 2 first place was Caleb Jowdy of Gasport, New York. In second place to Amelia Hinstrube of Springville, New York. Coming out of Class 3, first place was exhibited by Lucas Dursarkissian, and second to Alexander Dursarkissian. Out of Class 4, first place went to Lucas Dursarkissian, and second to Amelia Hinstrube. Coming out of Class 5, first place exhibited by Brooke Gerhardt, and second also to Brooke Gerhardt. Class 6, first place was Caleb Jowdy, and second was Aubrey Henry. And out of Class 7, first and second were both exhibited by Caleb Jowdy of Gasport, New York. For those of you standing ringside, if you could join me in congratulating all of our breeding doe exhibitors at the Western New York Youth in Ag Bonanza.
So there they are, Elon, the breeding does, and now the judge is going to make a decision as to who the ultimate breeding doe will be, right?
Sir, he'll come out here and he'll sort through his first and second places from the classes he had to choose from, and he'll overall come and pick his overall champion breeding doe for today.
What's the highest award that you've received showing animals?
Ooh.
Can you remember?
I've showed for a long time, but I've received reserve champion market goat at the Pennsylvania Farm Show, which acts in place of our state fair.
Okay.
That's held in January.
Interesting, so that show is held in the wintertime.
Yeah, instead of having a summer state fair in Pennsylvania, they have a winter farm show, which is held in Harrisburg.
Mm-hmm. because you think most shows would be held in the summertime.
Yeah, most state fairs in most other states are held end of summer. Normally they'll start end of July and carry through September and October. But in Pennsylvania, ours is held in January, beginning of January. You'll probably go into the show around January 3rd, so right after the new year, and that'll act as our state fair. And they'll have all species of animals there, ranging from dairy cows to market lambs, pigs, steers, everything you could think of in the state fair.
Open to anybody in Pennsylvania for that particular show, or is that for anybody that's within the region?
Yes, in that particular show, it's limited to Pennsylvania residents, and there is junior divisions, and then there's open divisions where farms can exhibit their animals even though their children might be aged out of showing.
Gotcha. Yeah, we've seen that with a lot of the exhibitors as they get a little older. Literally tomorrow and the next day, they're getting ready now to go to college and go back to school.
Yeah, for sure. I know that I have an older sister, and our fair is next week, and after that she goes straight to Penn State.
Yeah,
so.
Good for her. Do you have on your property where you live, do you have farming in addition to animals?
Yeah, so we farm probably around 70 acres, and we run about 90 head of weather dam ewes.
We get out here just a tremendous female
listen
show.
to the judge talk his reasons on his champion drive now.
Are so engaged and passionate and involved in this breeding goat project because that's what the next generation is all about, having that passion to breed and prolong your project. It's far more important to me and valuable to me than just a 6-month market project you carry throughout the year. I think there's a lot of heart and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into manufacturing these type of females. I really like the kind that we have out here. There's a big presence of high quality boar goats. There's 3 that really hit me hard out here. I'm going to go show you the 2 I like the best to be your champion and reserve doe. Congratulations.
He sets this right up, creates a lot of the drama as he gets ready to make the selection. There he goes.
Congratulations to Caleb Jowdy with his champion breeding doe. Second place in that class was also exhibited by Caleb Jowdy. And also congratulations to Caleb Jowdy on his reserve breeding doe. Once again, congratulations to all of these exhibitors, and we will get started with our market goat show. We will be looking to start with Class 1. Jessica Engel, Jenna Smazinski, Aiden Dobson, and Sarah Konheiser.
So there you go. He made the selection, and like we talked about, it doesn't matter the age of the exhibitor. So the younger exhibitors were winners in that particular category.
Yeah, for sure. When it comes to type, I mean, it's all about the animal. Doesn't matter how old you are, anyone can come and do good. It's basically all based on your animal at this point. So the young man exhibited both grand and reserve there and did a very good job.
Yeah, he did, and the animal was well behaved. We're going to take a break. We're at the Showplex in the Hamburg Fairgrounds in Hamburg, New York. Elon is with us, and we're talking about goats, and we're here for the Western New York Youth and Ag Bonanza, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Imagine a world without milk. It would be a tragic, tasteless existence. After all, with no cheese, how would anyone know when to smile? With no milk, why would anyone want to? But there is hope. Your Western New York dairy farmers are committed to providing the most wholesome, delicious milk products possible, returning smiles to tables and order in the universe.
So, everyone's okay with a cow in the house?
Milk for Health. The guys with the cows.
Connect with WBBZ TV, your hometown MeTV station. Channel 67.1 over the air and DirecTV, Channel 5 on cable, Fios, and Dish.
Chill out with some hot classics.
Online at our website, WBBZ.TV, with information about your favorite shows and hometown buzz.
Feeling a little frisky?
Join the conversation at WBBZ TV on Facebook, at WBBZ on Twitter, and check out our YouTube channel with playlists of our hometown programming.
Yes, sir. I'm going to lay around home and just take it easy.
WBBZ on TV and online, your hometown MeTV station.
Milk for Health presents the Western New York Youth in Ag Bonanza, live to you at home, where youth from the 8 counties of Western New York will compete in livestock judging and showmanship in various categories. Live from the Showplex on the Erie County Fairgrounds in Hamburg, New York, Milk for Health presents the Western New York Youth in Ag Bonanza.
All right, we are back, and Milk for Health presenting live to you at home the Western New York Youth and Ag Bonanza, and we're the WBBZ TV production team happy to do that. Here comes the judge.
Market goat show, and the one that's the most weather oriented, the one that's very trendy and unique in his type and kind, the young lady's white-headed goat here, just one that's super unique in his front 1/3. Love the rack shape in this one. He's really stout in his hip structure. Yes, he's the smallest one out here, but he's really unique, really cool, really nicely built and constructed goat. Congratulations. The young man that comes second, one that from the side, I really like this goat. For me, he gets really plain and flat in the way he ties into the top side of his rack. I'd really like to pull him apart from hooks to pins to move up any higher, but a nice boar-style goat here to come second. The young lady's dairy influence goat here that comes third. Her goat over the goat in fourth, just for the amount of mass and power and finish this one has. Just like to pull these two goats apart and give them some more substance underneath. Just widen them up down their tops to move up any higher.
All right, that's Troy Longnecker, our judge. Now Kirby's going to tell us who the contestants
Congratulations
are.
in Class 1. First place will go to Jessica Engel, second to Aiden Dobson, third Sarah Konheiser, and fourth Jenna Smazinski. Now in the ring will be Class 2 Market Goats. Entries from Caleb Jowdy, Lindsay Lippert, Amelia Hintstrub, Allie Earhart, and Quinn Pence. This will be the first call for Class 3.
So Class 2 Market Goats.
Yep.
Talk to me about a market goat. Why are we calling it that?
So for market goats, the judge is looking for muscling and finish on the goat. So when he's talking about finish, he's talking about fat cover on the animal, like how much fat does the animal have on it. So basically the judge is judging these on how they would go if they were to be butchered and used for food instead of using for a breeding piece. So he's judging for fat cover and muscle shape and overall how the animal would be taken to a butcher and hang on the rail.
Sure, okay.
But also with judging for meat and muscle characteristics, he's also judging for how the animal walks, how he is on his feet and legs, so how sound he is, basically how he carries himself across the room, whether that be how good he walks or when it comes down to close placings, it's sometimes hard to sort them apart. I've done some judging in my days, and when you get down to the top portion of the animals, it's sometimes hard to sort them only based on muscling and fat cover. You have to start breaking them down on a skeletal standpoint, whether that be feet and legs or outline and how pretty they are. So he's judging them on the walk and also on the stand.
And a muscled animal, because you don't want it too fat because the fat is too fat. You don't want that in the meat.
Yeah, it's basically when they butcher the animal, the more waste there is. So say a packer or you at home buys the animal to eat it, you're paying by the pound for the live animal, and the more fat that is taken off of that is the more waste. So the less fat you can get is the more product you're paying for. So when you pay for a heavier animal that might be a little fatter, there might be more trim, which is waste material. So
Makes
fat
sense.
and leftover. So you don't want to pay for stuff that's just going to be
Not gonna be
thrown
used,
away and
yeah.
waste.
It's a bit of a business, isn't it, Elon?
Yeah, for sure. These kids are just out here and they're enjoying themselves, but it also comes down to the sale afterwards so they can put that money towards maybe another project next year.
Another project, sometimes to their schooling, sometimes they help their families, and Yeah, I mean, we were just looking at the notes here, the degree of muscling, the soundness of the structural correctness, the volume, and the balance and style, and all of that being judged right now as we look at the dairy goats, or as we look at the meat market goats. Will you be here for some of the shows tomorrow, Elon?
No, I have to make my way back to Pennsylvania tomorrow. I'm just here to watch the shows today and get out and see some livestock and interact with the youth.
Yeah. So there we just saw one of the goats just get up on its hind legs.
Yep, that's a normal occurrence in
Yeah.
showing. It's just a little bit of a jump, maybe to expend some energy or some build-up tension from being in the show ring.
Sure. Well, she's doing her best, that exhibitor, to maintain control and not be nervous. That would freak me out.
Yeah, the main thing to do is, in a situation like that where your animal might be acting up, the best thing to do is stay calm, because
Yeah.
the animal can sense if you're in distress.
That's
They
an
can.
interesting point, yeah. The
When you have
animals
such
themselves.
a bond with the animal, they're relying on getting their keys off of you. So if you're stressed and you're angry, they're gonna know something's not right. So if you stay calm, it's probably the best thing to do in that situation.
And I noticed in some of the other shows, the exhibitor went to a different animal.
We get out here in
Well, here comes
five
the judge.
goats that really sort themselves quite logically for me. We've got one goat here to my right, still in some hair, but this one's really stout in his feature. He's got a lot of top shape. He's really opened up in his rib. I like how stout this one is, from hooks to pins. Stands on a really good set of stout feet and legs. We get really close here between second and third. The goat in second, I just prefer the way this one handles up out over a rack. This goat's just got a lot more power grooving and ditching down her top than the young man's goat that comes third. The third place goat is one that's really intriguing on a skeletal standpoint, but for me, I want to change this one's shoulder ever so slightly. I really just need to put some more rack shape and forerib shape into this one to move up any higher, but this one's really kind of unique and really elite in the way his hip structure is and his feet and legs. The young lady that comes next, a really expressive goat, one that just gets a lot softer out over its ribs. Really like to change the shoulder on this one as well. She's getting really deep in her chest floor, really bold about her shoulder, but doesn't match up as much when we study her from the hind saddle there. When I get behind her, this one's tapering out from hooks to pins, getting flatter in her muscle shape out over her leg. I just think her head's on the wrong side of this one's skeleton. I'd like to change that about her to move up any higher. The young lady that's going to round out this class just got out here in a really tough division. A goat that's really nice from the side, one that's super balanced. Just need to make this one heavier structured, give her some more bone underneath, and pull her apart from end to end. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Kirby's going to tell us who they are.
Congratulations in Class 2. First place will go to Quinn Pence. Second, Amelia Hinstrube. Third, Caleb Jowdy. Fourth, Lindsay Lippertz. And fifth, Allie Earhart. Now in the ring will be Class 3. We'll be looking for Allison McNamara and Brooke Gerhart.
And joining us here on the broadcast stage is Jessica Underberg.
As well as Easton Pence.
There we go. Had to get that last exhibitor in. Jessica, thank you for the shout out. Jessica Underberg is the CEO of the Erie County Fair. Got to make sure we're all masked up here. But thank you for that shout out. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's been a real pleasure having you guys here. You've done a phenomenal job with the coverage and the commentating as well.
Thank you. Well, it's Elon. He's the star of the show here, Jessica.
Yeah. That's perfect.
16 years old. He's got a great future ahead of him.
Ah, great.
He's able to analyze these animals. And, he said, in my days, when you're my age, you say lines like that, Elon. That's for sure. But, the goats are, we were just saying, the goats are pretty playful animals, aren't they?
They are certainly curious creatures, too.
Yes, yeah. I did notice, we were talking about the hogs the other day. They went right for that exit gate. They knew where to go.
Yes. You've had your...
I'm getting better.
You've got a whole experience now that you've never
Learning,
had
Jessica.
before.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
I'm going to make you a farm kid yet.
And that's what makes these Ustream specials so great. Dan Everett Jr. mentioned so many people are able to watch it because they can't come here. And I know that breaks everybody's heart, but this really has extended this, and I know a lot of grandparents are watching and aunts and uncles, and that's neat.
Yeah, and like we were saying, I was telling Danny that, the opportunity that, folks like Elon have is educated people on what's going on here that they might not have had the experience to sit in the show ring before and watch.
Well, certainly I've learned a lot, and got to make sure I keep my breeds correct, make sure a sheep and not a goat and all of that. But you have a great team, and if somebody's just watching now and tuning in, you've thanked them before, but let's thank your team again, Becca and Holly and everybody.
John, I'm so blessed to have the team that we do here at the fairgrounds. They have 100% jumped in. We did a team chant Thursday morning, and the team chant was, "We are here for the kids." And that is truly, truly it. Whatever we've needed to do, whether it's clean toilets, sanitize doorknobs, be in the show ring, or pick up the judge, they have done that.
And the public can come down to the fairgrounds Saturday night for the Blast Out Hunger event.
Yes. So gates open at 8 p.m. Fireworks will go off promptly at 9:30. The quote that I got from Matt Shaw from Skylighters of Western New York was, "This will be the biggest fireworks display Western New York has seen all summer." So Matt, it'll be perfect.
Let's hear from Troy.
And the young man was more focused on doing the two-step, but he did a really good job of getting this goat propped up here. This one's really stout in his feature. He's really pulled apart from end to end. A lot of shape on this goat. Even for a big goat, he's got a lot of terminal shape. He's still really crisp on his edges and meets my hand with a lot of firmness, a lot of good touch and turn to his top. Really good skeleton sheep or goat out here, excuse me. It's getting late, but a really nice individual here to start this class. The young lady that comes next, one that I really appreciate the handle of this goat. For me, I just need to change the shoulder and the hip structure on this one. This one just wants to break a lot down his top and get steeper about his hip. If we can level this one up in his design and square him up on his edges, he can easily rival our class winner. Similar style goat comes here that's going to round out the class, one that just gets plainer in his construction. He's wider from end to end, but just in his muscle shape and his pattern, he gets rounder and softer from end to end. Let's give this trio a round of applause. Congratulations.
All right, Kirby's going to tell us who these exhibitors are.
Congratulations. In Class 3 of our market goats, first place will go to Easton Pence, second to Allison McNamara, and third to Brooke Gerhart. Now in the ring is our final class of market goats. An entry from Amelia Hinstrube.
So it looks like just one entry for this final class, or will we have some more? Maybe, well, it looks like there's a few more coming. Do you have goats, Jessica, on your farm?
I do not. The goat world is all new to me, so thanks, that Elon's here. You can help us out with this, because I'm learning right along with you.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we should mention the judge that's here, Troy Longnecker, and all of the judges, they're not just people that, you judge. These are vetted people that understand the animals.
For sure. When you hire a judge, you try to see where else they've judged, talk to those folks, see what kind of job they did, or people that showed under them. You don't just go pick somebody off the street and say, yeah, you know a little bit about goats, come do this. When the kids work all year long, it is really important to make sure you have somebody who knows what they're talking about to make the evaluations.
He has a very dramatic style. He looks at the animal, as you can see. And Elon, you've worked with Troy before, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep, I've known Troy my entire life at this point.
Because you're both Pennsylvania guys, and so he has a unique style, and but he really has a care for the exhibitors too. And he mentioned he has a goat farm or a sheep farm, actually, I believe. Yeah. All right, here comes Troy.
We get out here just a single entry, and the young lady's done a tremendous job all day. She's got so much intensity, and she's still carrying it through to the end of the market show here. This goat's got a lot of product, a lot of shape, just one that's super cuttable. He's stout and pulled apart from end to end. Maybe just like the way he's built in his shoulder. He's getting really bold and coarse and outside of himself, but a really nice individual here to start this class.
All right. Becky Diger to tell us who that is. And what we're about to see coming up.
How'd she approach
Maybe not. Well, That was
It was Amelia Hinstrube that won that class, and I believe we're moving into our champion drive.
There we go. When in doubt, go right to the CEO. Well, as we do that, we're going to take a short break. We're at the Showplex. Jessica Underberg's here, the CEO, Elon Korkler. Yes, I'm going to get that right yet. We'll be back right after this.
Milk and cheese and yogurt make me sing every day, 'cause milk is amazing. Drink milk to grow up with strong bones. 3 times a day, vitamin D and calcium. So drink it with chocolate, put it on your pizza. How about berries? It's always a treat. Milk is amazing.
Two on Your Side invites you to the Hamburg Fairgrounds for Blast Out Hunger, a food drive and fireworks drive-in. Join the Erie County Agricultural Society to help support Feed More Western New York and our neighbors in need. Just bring a bag of non-perishable food and we'll collect it at the gate. Enjoy an evening of fireworks with your family from the comfort of your vehicle. Saturday, August 15th. Gates open at 8. Skylighter fireworks at 9:30. See you there. We'll have a blast.
First place was exhibited by Amelia Hinstrube. If you could join me in putting your hands together to congratulate all of our Meat Goat exhibitors at the Western New York Youth in Ag Bonanza. Also, while we're putting our hands together, another big thank you to our judge today, Mr. Troy Longenecker of Annville, Pennsylvania.
Yep, we thank Troy and everybody. There he is. Man, Elon. So now we're looking at all of these animals. Where are we in the competition now?
So currently he's going out to select the top 2 market goats of the show, which are referred to as the champion and reserve champion. So right now he's sorting through his top 2 out of both class. So out of the class, he'll place all of them, and the top 2 goats in the class will come back for the grand drive, which is where he'll pick the top 2 overall goats.
Okay. So this is the top 2 in market goats.
Yes, sir, that would be correct.
And then from there, we're going to get into another category of animal.
Yep. I believe after this, we move into
Might be
dairy goat showmanship.
Yep. And then after the dairy goat showmanship, he's going to bring, do we have one final from each dairy goat and the meat class, or do we keep this classes separate?
We will keep these divisions in their own separate divisions. So meat goats won't compete up against dairy goats. They have 2 different applications. So the meat goats are used for eating and the dairy goats are used for their milk.
Got it.
Once again, folks, let's give these kids a round of applause. This is the last time I'm going to be on the mic today, and it's been fun. And for me, it's just a super good honor to be asked to sort through a quality group of kids and super high-quality livestock. For me, this is a passion, and this is what I eat, breathe, and sleep at home, is just youth livestock and high-quality sheep and goats, and I got to participate in that today. I feel honored, and I'm really just thrilled with the quality we have out here. I'm not going to take too much time. If anyone wants to talk to me after the show and has any concerns about their style and their type and kind, I'm not one that's going to just spread the wealth around. I'm going to find the ones I like. I'm going to reward the kids that deserve it, and I think there's just a super good set of kids out here. Let's give them all one more big round of applause. I'm going to go out and find you the 2 that I think are the best representation for your champion and reserve market goat here at the Bonanza.
All right, so Troy Longenecker is going to do that, and the Dairy Goat Show is actually tomorrow, Elon, and that's going to be starting at 11 a.m. here at the Showplex. So we're going to, when we wrap here, we're going to be wrapping up the Goat Show.
Congratulations
there he is.
to Jessica Engel with her champion, Market Goat. Second place in that class was exhibited by Aiden Dobson. And your reserve champion market goat's going to go to Mr. Easton Pence of Randolph, New York. Once again, congratulations to all of our meat goat exhibitors. A reminder to exhibitors that you are free and able to go at this time. We appreciate you joining us. If you have any questions or concerns as you leave, please be sure to stop up and see us. We do ask that you clean out your pens before you leave. We'd greatly appreciate it. We'll see you here tomorrow starting at 11 o'clock for the Dairy Goat Show.
And that's Kirby Dygert, and Kirby's done a great job, as have you, Elon Horkler, and from Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
Literally, they said to Elon, you know what, maybe you go sit with that city guy and talk about the goat show, and you did a terrific job, Elon.
Yeah, I was just coming around the edge of the bleachers, and they were like, I guess you're going to commentate. So I said, I guess I'll try.
Get it? That's what live TV is all about. Now, if we can get some of the contestants and the exhibitors over at the photo booth, we'll do that, and we'll find out and meet them right after this commercial break. But thanks, Elon, very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Want the best for your pets? Decide on Clyde's. Most people think their best deal is with online retailers, but I'm always getting the best price at Clyde's Feed and Animal Center. Shop ClydesFeed.com for convenient 1 to 3 day shipping to your doorstep. They've got a great selection of food for every pet, from dogs and cats to horses and chickens, wild birds, and everything in between. You'll find more than food. Shop toys, treats, flea and tick treatment, grooming supplies, vitamins, supplements, and more at Clyde's Feed and ClydesFeed.com.
Connect with WBBZ TV, your hometown MeTV station. Channel 67.1 over the air and DirecTV, Channel 5 on cable, Fios, and Dish.
Chill out with some hot classics.
Online at our website, WBBZ.TV, with information about your favorite shows and hometown buzz.
Feeling a little frisky?
Join the conversation at WBBZ TV on Facebook, at WBBZ on Twitter, and check out our YouTube channel with playlists of our hometown programming.
Yes, sir. I'm going to lay around home and just take it easy.
WBBZ on TV and online, your hometown MeTV station.
John DeShula back with you here as we're wrapping up the Youth and Ag Bonanza at the Goat Show. And we have our winner right here who's been up on there getting some photos taken in front of the logos. So let's see while we can get a break in the action here. Make sure everybody gets their photos taken. Make sure can we come in? Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Jessica.
Jessica from Springville.
From Springville.
We met before, Jessica.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. Tell us about the goat.
His name is Juan, so he's part of that theme that we had for our lambs as well. And what do you want to know about my goat?
Well, I want to know how old is he?
He was born in January, so he's about 7.5 months old.
Is he playful?
He is very playful. He's actually the best behaved goat I've ever owned.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's saying a lot, huh?
It is saying a lot.
Yeah. So what category and division did you win in?
So the first class that I won was his weight division, which is basically a lightweight because he is a smaller goat. Yeah. And then overall, he won the Grand Champion Market Goat. So he was first for his market and his cutability.
Well, he's really super animal, and you do a great job with the animals, and it's a big day for you winning a lot.
Yes, it is.
Well, congratulations to you, Jessica.
Thank you.
All right, so there goes Jessica and her prize-winning goat, and we have some other folks who are here that are waiting to go and get their photos taken with their Grand Champion and Ag Bonanza banners. And in this case, Jessica's going to get her photo taken with her immediate family. All of those folks here to see their loved ones compete. Spectator free, unfortunately, this year because of all the restrictions, but everybody's been able to make it work. We're going to go over and maybe take a look and see what we can do with some of the other winners who are here while they're getting their photos taken. All right, you know what? Well, we'll meet you, young man. What's your name?
Easton.
Easton, how old are you?
10.
10. Tell me about your animal.
He's very playful, and he's really nice. When I walk into his pen, he usually jumps on my shoulders.
Oh, how about that? What's his name?
Diffie.
Diffie. All right. And why'd you name him Diffie?
I named him Diffie after a singer.
Really? Okay. So that's your favorite singer and your favorite animal, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What division did you win? What did you win here today? Let's see what we have there. We have the Reserve Champion Market Goat and Reserve Champion Meat Goat Showman. You pretty proud?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that your mom and dad out there?
No, that's my mom.
That's your mom? Okay, great. Well, congratulations, young man, and good luck to you with your animals, all right?
Thanks.
All right, very nice. All right, it's all for the kids here at the West New York Youth and Ag Bonanza. And we're here sponsored by Evans Bank, Russell Steaks, Chops, and More, Clyde's Feed and Animal Center. And all of these great people are the people that brought you this show. And the WBBZ TV team happy to do that with Captain Chris Musial, Chad Marcolini, Andy Smicinski, Joe Malucci, and yours truly, John DeShulo. All right, I think we've met everybody here. We've got the animals, the goats, the champions. We have had a great time, and we're going to be back at 11 a.m. So whatever streaming feed you're watching, join us again Saturday. And if you're watching us in a recorded vein, make sure that you support the Erie County Fair and the Agricultural Society. WBBZ.TV is where you'll find us. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. It's all about the youth in Ag Bonanza. Thanks, everybody.